Evolution.
The Scarlet Spear missions are just the same as the existing missions in the game. The fact is, you can solo grind these activities if you have the right frames and weapons. With a couple of tests, I think I finally cracked the code on how to solo both MUREX raid and ground assault. But before I show you the tricks, I would humbly ask that you support my channel by simply liking this video if you find it informative, and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to ring the bell so you will get notified of every video we post. Okay, now let's begin. The first thing you need to know is the required frame. To easily solo both MUREX raid and ground assault, you will need Limbo. It surely is about time for the sentients to invade Earth, since Limbo mains got all the time in the world right now. In terms of modding, I would suggest a 169% range build. 27 meters radius for Cataclysm is enough to protect the uplink in both MUREX raid and ground assault. But squad leader, how about in the phase when we are shooting the eye of the CONDRIX? Will it not hinder us? We will get to that point, but for now, let's focus first on how to implement this build in the missions. For MUREX raid, the moment you get into the waypoint, all you need to do is cast Cataclysm and Stasis. Recast both abilities if they are close to expiring. This Scarlet Spear mission is all about protecting the uplink from sentients until you receive all 9 kill codes. But how about my Railjack squad leader? Who will protect it? Well, all you need to do is park your Railjack far from the MUREX, or hide it, and just use your Archwing to travel to the MUREX. Doing this mission is pretty easy, especially if you already got an upgraded ship. In my case, I don't have all upgrades for my Railjack, but, with just 1900 health, it still can survive hits from enemies, while I'm in the MUREX waiting for all 9 codes to be transmitted. Once you have all kill codes, you'll get transported back to your ship. Just repeat the process until you have driven 5 MUREX away. Just a friendly tip though, never do it solo unless you want to farm intrinsics for your ship. Yes, those sentient enemies will give you some good chunk of intrinsic, especially if you got an affinity booster. However, the mission is pretty boring when running it solo, as you'll have to wait a very long time for those kill codes to be transmitted. This mission is efficiently done with a team. On the other hand, the ground assault is very fun to play with in solo mode. That is, when you are looking to challenge yourself. Also, I decided to create a solo guide for this mission since I also need it. My internet connection right now is very slow, and I'm always having 500 to 800 ping with a team, which is why I decided to experiment and find ways to solo run this mission. So anyway, what you need is still the same 169% range Limbo. Only this time, you need specific equipment on your frame's loadout. Namely, you need a Zor and a Catch Moon kit gun for this job. The Zor will be dealing with those sentients, especially with the CONDRIX, while your kit gun will be in charge with breaking those Mountain Dews wrapped around the waist of the aero list. Honestly, the CONDRIX is not the toughest enemy in this mission. You will have more problems with the Barter list and Aero list compared to the CONDRIX. However, they can be put to sleep with this setup. For the build, you need to have both sacrificial mods on yours or to do more damage to the sentients. Also, you will need Blood Rush to gain more critical chance, not just on melee hits, but also for the projectiles of Exodia Contagion. Now this arcane is the best when it comes to dealing with the CONDRIX. After min-maxing my build, I found that the Exodia Contagion is always superior compared to Redeemer Prime setup. One reason is because Exodia Contagion works on Limbo's Rift. You can fire your Exodia Contagion while Cataclysm is on the field, or even while you are in the Rift. Also, the projectiles are now affected by combo counter. When you reached max combo counter, and you have Blood Rush plus the Gladiator mods on your build, the Exodia Contagion projectile will do red crit damage and destroy the eye of the CONDRIX without needing any damage buff from frames. So overall, I would say that Exodia Contagion is the number weapon when it comes to destroying the CONDRIX, while Redeemer Prime is a good alternative. Looking back at my build, you will also need Primed Fury for attack speed. Also, try to add a corrosive build since most of these sentients you will be facing have ferrite armor. The last thing you need is a combo count mod. The key to melting the CONDRIX is by maintaining your combo counter at max. This way, you can always land red crits on the CONDRIX. To do that you need either drifting contact or body count, and you will also need Nariman's power spike, so your combo count will not totally drain once it expires. Don't worry about energy, since you can replenish it quickly with the help of Energy Siphon, and Limbo's passive, which lets you gain energy when you kill enemies inside his rift. Now let's move on with Catch Moon. So far, this is the only weapon I can consider as an aerialist killer. It can destroy the canisters wrapped around the body of the aerialist easily. Just a quick tip though, do not put the aerialist on Limbo's rift or you will have some problems. The idea is, when the aerialists spawn, turn off your cataclysm and stasis. Focus on the aerialist by locking it down with Magus Lockdown. What I always do is, after I stunned the aerialist with Magus Lockdown, I shoot it with 2 to 3 shots, then cast Magus Lockdown again. This way, I can keep the sentient on place, while both crowd controlling and recovering at the same time. Do remember that there will also be other enemies in the field with the aerialist, so be extra careful. For the build, it's all about corrosive and lots of critical and damage. If you still got those Riven mods for this kit gun, then this is the day to dust it off and put it to good use again. For those who don't have a Riven, just put pathogen rounds on this slot or auger pack to increase its damage. You can also put anemic agility if you want to have more fire rate. Lastly, here are some bonus tips. I did not equip Rolling Guard on my Limbo anymore, since shield gating now exists. The invulnerability period once my shield depletes is enough for me to make a quick reaction before my health gets damaged by the enemies. Also, Magus Elevate would help you, especially if you are dealing with the aero list. In terms of the best Zor to use, I advise you to just pick whatever is comfortable for you. I just tested my heavy blades Zor for this video, but I think Nikana would be better for my playstyle, since it got a combo wherein you just stay in place and deal multiple hit damage. I'm having some troubles with heavy blade and its cleaving whirlwind stance, since it will tend to make you move all the time. But that's just a minor problem for my part. Anyway, it depends on what you think is best for you in the end. And last but not the least, you can add Mutalist Quanta on your loadout for this type of mission. The projectile of Exodia Contagion will have an increase in critical chance when you shoot it through Mutalist Quanta's infested bubbles. However, I doubt that you will need it, since the red crit coming from this setup will be enough to destroy even the highest level CONDRIX on this mission. So that's all about it, lads. For those who are asking from my Limbo fashion frame, I included it after this break. Thank you so much for watching. Squad leader signing off.